Hey, welcome to Living Science Wellness Center's Nutritional Wellness Tips. This is Susan and myself, Bruce Bonner, and we have some great colleagues today to discuss an excellent new supplement product that we've come across and been using for 6 months. It's ASEA Redox signaling products, and we have Danielle Matthews and Dr. David Silverman to help us understand this amazing product. Welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you,
thanks for
Bruce.
having us.
You want to start it off, Susan?
Yeah, so I just wanted to talk to people a little bit about the tracking available with ASEA. So ASEA Renew 28 has been a product that I totally have transformed my health with. Just in a couple of weeks, having used it under my skin and makeup and applying it that way has benefited me, diminishing age spots. I find just doing some before and afters of age spots on my hands, they've diminished completely. And I'm looking at some of the blemishes that I once had have completely disappeared. So it's a new product that we've been testing, and I'm really thrilled to share it with people today.
And maybe we can get some of your insights, Dr. David, considering you've been in the company for so long. And I'm going to show a little video because we wanted to record positive effects. I do dark field live blood microscopy, so we wanted to show how the blood has changed and get both of your feedback on what actually we're seeing and just helping our clients understand this new technology. And if they have questions, they can always reach out to you and be in the experts, and we'll guide them there.
Well, Bruce, let me just thank you guys for inviting us on, and I'm so glad that you took the time to evaluate this product and not dismiss it as sounding too good to be true. And what you've done with your dark field microscopy basically is validating the things I've been seeing for 14 years. I don't have a dark field microscope. I don't have a lot of sophisticated equipment. My background was foot and ankle surgery, and I was a board certified surgeon here in the state of Maryland. Although I don't practice anymore now, I'm 64 years old. I feel like I'm in my 30s and because of this product. And Susan, you held up the gel and you were talking about spots and things like that and wrinkles going away. That to me, that's the icing on the cake. That's just, I mean, this is a cellular health product. It works at the cellular level. Everything is cells, skin cells, blood cells, bone cells, liver cells, kidney cells. My dad had an issue with his prostate cells 14 years ago when this was introduced to me. And Bruce, you're talking about what you did with the liquid version of the gel. And quite frankly, this is the more important product because this affects the entire every cell of the body when you drink this. But this is the fun one, right, Susan? Because you take pictures and you watch yourself get younger. This, you drink this and you feel yourself get younger. And Bruce, your validation with the microscope and seeing what it's doing to blood cells is really the important thing. This is a breakthrough for humanity. And it's just remarkable. Anybody can prove it to themselves that it's real. You see it in the microscope. You're Susan, you're seeing it on your face. Anybody can take pictures of their wrinkles, their age spots, their cellulite, their scars, and use it and watch what happens. But there's something that happens really quickly that you can't see with a microscope, but you can feel, and almost everybody feels. And that's with the gel as well, but not for wrinkles and spots, for discomfort in the body. And this is something that, and Yale's shaking her head and you're shaking your head because you know if anybody does this on 10 people, they'll be fascinated by what happens to almost every single one within 10 minutes if they have discomfort in their body. When I say discomfort, I don't just mean, hey, my neck's a little stiff. I mean discomfort on a scale of 1, my neck's a little stiff, to 10, I can't move my head, right? So you rate your discomfort level on a scale of 1 to 10. You shake up this gel which is made from saline. It's completely safe. There's no greasiness to it. There's no smell to it. It's something that's inside of us. Our cells make it. But if you do that, if you have 10 people that are hurting and you ask them for 10 minutes, I know what's going to happen to an average of 9 people within 10 minutes, and so do you. And that's how one of the ways people validate it. What you've done with the microscope, what you're going to show is just flat out proof what it's doing in the body. When people say, oh, it's just salt water, it's like this company's been around for 15 years. They've done 1.5 billion in sales. They're in 35 countries. As of next week, Japan becomes the 36th country. You can't fool people for that long. But Bruce, honestly, I love the things that you're doing that complements all the double-blind studies and the studies that the company sends out to universities and labs. You're doing it in your office in a microscope and saying, hey, that's not a placebo. That is amazing what's happening. So I loved seeing the video and I'm looking forward to seeing it again.
And definitely will bring that up for sure. And we have both also applied it to like sore muscles, like the lower back, and can validate like within one or application and then wait, takes it down, do another application. I'm like, wow, my lower back is sore. Having done lots of athletics in my past, I mean, you can feel what works and what doesn't. Even taking it internally, I always did a little test of not drinking water, which I do every morning first thing, and just actually drink the ASEA first thing and think, do I feel more hydrated or not? And it's always a feeling of like, oh, you know what? I've been satiated. So there's something fast acting about it in terms of that hydration and cell communication. So that's pretty cool.
And it's not even a hydration product. I mean, people drink an average of 6 ounces a day.
Yeah,
It's
that's
called the Essential Six. They have an essential bundle that they have that was highly discounted, but it's as safe as water and it comes with a money back guarantee. So if anybody has a problem that they don't sleep well, they should try it. They have ringing in their ear, they should try it. They have skin issues, they should try it because there is no risk. You can't be allergic to it. It's in you. Our cells make it. We just made more when we were younger. It does not interfere with medication. So if someone's taking 1, 2, 10 medicines, it's already in them. So it's invisible to that. And there's no toxicity. I mean, most people drink 6 ounces a day, 180 ml a day, but some people drink 12 ounces a day. People who are told, hey, get your affairs in order. We can't do anything for you. You got a few months. They're drinking a whole bottle a day. There's
right.
no toxicity to it. In fact, I don't know if you've ever seen this, maybe you have, but I've got the liquid in a little nebulizer here, and it's a mist, and I'm literally putting it in my eye. This is how safe this is. It can't hurt anybody. It's not a pharmaceutical.
It's awesome. Yeah, Susan has noticed. So what's your experience with your sleep? That's one thing you were mentioning to Danielle.
Yeah, I found with just taking the ASEA liquid at night, a couple hours before bed, and then just sleeping right through the night, like never having to get up to go to the washroom or anything. It's just like sleeping really well and solid, and just a couple of ounces of ASEA every day has been really beneficial for sleep.
Well, if anybody, look, Danielle will share her story. She had a brain injury. She was hit by a drunk driver. I mean, a lot of people take, as we age, we see our health decline, joints, vision, skin, and it corresponds to our bodies producing less and less of this in our mitochondria. So when we're young, we produce a lot. In our 20s, we produce less. That's why a 20-year-old will not heal as quickly from the same injury as a 10-year-old. 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s. I'm 64, I make this much, but I drink this and I raise my levels up to what they were when I was younger. And basically, it enhances signaling. It makes it so the body is made aware of problems. And if the body's healing systems and stress reducing systems are not even aware that there's a problem, then the problem remains. It's like calling 911 with bad signal. Nobody's coming to help. And here, what happens is the cells that are not functioning properly just stay in that state of dis-ease. They're not at ease. And if the signaling is loud and clear, like it is in children, then the body is busy taking care of things, but the signaling goes down, right? But there is a website I know you can share with people if they ask, like, well, what about this problem? What does it do for people with bad headaches? What does it do for people with low mood? Because it crosses the blood-brain barrier. What does it do for people who are losing their memory? What does it do for people, even children on the spectrum? What is it? There is a website where there are videos of people that share what happened with them. In fact, on the site, there's about 160, I think, right now, real short videos. The first one is Danielle Matthews, who, like I say, it wasn't an aging problem. Some drunk hit her and totaled her car and caused a problem to her brain. And so I'm sure she's going to share what happened with her.
And that was one thing, Danielle, we saw you interviewed with Catherine Edwards, actually. And then it was another, moment of like, oh, you came across very authentic. We love Catherine as well. And so if you could tell a little bit of your story to our clients, that would be great.
Oh, I'd be happy to share. Well, as David said, my life went upside down like in a matter of moments. I was 23 years old when that happened. And was pulled from work. I couldn't focus for extended periods. I was dealing with a lot of pressure in my head, sensitivities to noise, to light, my, mood has went in the toilet. I mean, it was like just a terrible time of my life. I was basically in a dark room with blackout fabric, and even natural light was too much for me. But my doctors at like my 1 year appointment told me it was my new normal. They said, look, with your type of injury, the body's done the healing it's going to do, and you need to just adjust your life around your symptoms. And I just thought at the age of 24, like, this is no life, there's no way this is going to be chronic, And I don't know how many other people have sat and listened to someone, in that position, that I think we put these people on a pedestal because of what they know about the body, and accepted it as truth. And, something inside of me said, that's not going to be my case. I'm going to find something. And the answer came in that beautiful blue bottle of ASEA. I was honestly not receptive to it when it first came. An acupuncturist, kind of like yourself, had sort of started testing it and seeing some things and seeing different things with different clients. And she knew my mom, and she said, hey, I think this could pass the blood-brain barrier. I think it could help. Mom just intuitively said yes. My degree's in biology. I got in my own way. I'll just say that. I wanted to see research and like all these things that, 10 years ago, it wasn't out there. It's a new field of science. It was a newer company then. We have a lot more now, but I refused to take it at first. I thought it sounded too good to be true. And I had my hopes kind of dashed too many times to just try one more thing. And my parents used it because they had it at the house and they both saw results. My mom with her joints and her hands, my dad with his athletic performance and with an old knee injury. And they came back to me and said, look, this stuff can't hurt you. It might help you. Like, why don't we just give it a try? And I thought, well, it's good logic, but I think it's a waste of money. And anyway, I started on it, and it wasn't like the first month, second month, I didn't see anything. I didn't have anyone to show me my blood. I mean, there was just no proof, if you will, that it was working. The gel didn't exist that David was talking about. But I stayed on it. And about 3 months in, the pounding in my head stopped. And I was able to concentrate again. I could get the words out I wanted. It was like the fog I had been living in for 2 years just started to just dissipate. And now, knowing what I know, it's like, it's very clear to me that what David was saying, like, there was damage in my brain that just, like, the alert wasn't loud enough. My body wasn't able to figure out where the damage was and get it repaired. And all of a sudden, once my system knew where the issues were, well, it started working, to get back to balance. The body wants to be in balance. And that was my experience with it. And I just continued on it. I thought, if that's the only thing it does, that'd be great. But as I stayed on it, all of a sudden I wasn't sensitive to light anymore. And I could start listening to music again. And I've had just, my life restored to me. And as you can imagine, you go through something like that, it changes you. And I just, I had this moment of like, well, what do I want to do? I feel like I have a second lease on life. And I thought, I think I'm meant to share this. I'm meant to pay this forward. I think it entered my world for a reason. And so the last 9-10 years, I've just been educating people and sharing my story and helping other people understand how this can impact them, because it's going to do something different for all of us. Just where you have those damaged cells that are not happy and aren't detected yet, it's going to help go in there. And it just creates this beautiful cascading response in the body to get it back into balance. So I feel blessed. And when the gel came out, it's a lot easier, right? Susan, like you experienced, a lot easier to like validate it and see that it's working. And, now that we have things like you have, Bruce, it really excites me because people kind of had to go on faith for a little while. And now they don't need to. Now, like, the proof is undeniable.
And the more people, obviously over 10, and as David was saying, 14 years he's been in the company, you just see it dovetail because there's more and more people, more and more results. I mean, and then it starts to grow that way. I mean, that's a perfect segue. And what I'll do is I'll share a screen, and also for our listeners to be able to see the blood for those that haven't seen it. And then basically we'll show the energy in the body. And that's basically what you both have been talking about and experiencing. So I'll just do that right now. And we can have a little discussion afterward.
This is fascinating to me, guys. This really is.
Let's do this. I'll get going, move through. So we just take it through. This first one is just, again, that's my blood. And I just basically took the blood before taking the ASEA, and then I took the ASEA, and roughly it's about 8 to 10 minutes until checking the blood again. And what you can see is this rouleau, a little more dehydration. Although it's clean, the cells look quite good. This is the type of effect that congests the body, and then poor circulation, both body and the brain. And so then after taking the ASEA, I was really astonished to see that, see how quickly it separated out. And then the movement is different. So it really, if you're just taking, I took the 2 ounces, and to see that change quickly, then the cell signaling and the bioelectrical magnetic properties, however you want to describe, or all of that, clearly if it does it systemically and quick, that's the only way to describe cellular communication for everything to separate out. And I didn't guzzle like 4 liters of water or anything. This is straight up. And so we've done this multiple times, and a few effects, I've done it on myself and others. And this is just a good representation. So yeah, just kind of separates out. And this is what you want. These are the red blood cells. You want them to just gently touch and communicate, and then they move through the blood vessels and deliver oxygen to all the tissues and brain quickly. So there's a good systemic effect for everyone. And then this next one, I couldn't leave Susan out, of course, so I had to check her blood, as much as she really doesn't love to get her finger pricked. Convinced her. So this is Susan's blood. Again, it's a little bit dehydrated and a lot more stacking and more layers. And Susan would stay less hydrated than myself throughout the day. I've trained myself to drink a lot more water, and yet so in Susan's case, to see this dramatic turnaround in a second is quite significant, because she was a little bit more desert than river to begin with. So it shows you how profound the ASEA effect was on the body. And this is on day 4. She's only been on ASEA 3 days, and this is textbook perfect blood. You can't get any better. Just separate, gently touching, moving the right number, right size and shape, and ultimately you want to move the blood through the body to bring all the nourishment. So that to me is a huge effect, and that really sparked my interest. And you can't fake it. So no matter what I have any preconceived notions, I just went in with my head like, okay, whatever this thing is, we're going to give it a shot, and we're going to be objective and measure it in many different ways, subjectively and objectively. So this is our objective measure. I'm just pouring it into the dish and wanted to see if our new puppy dog would go to it quickly, and just put it right in front of him, and knowing animals' instincts, and boom, he's just licking it up. So Silver likes ASEA too. And I gave him 2 ounces, although he's 60 pounds. I figured it's not too much of an overdose. And so yeah, it's quite interesting. I know animals are drawn to things that are health generating. So yeah, yummy. And so he looks forward to having it. We give it to him on a daily basis, a small amount. This is just to show I took blood out, put it under a slide. And what I wanted to do is actually inject ASEA right under the slip cover on the slide to see how it would affect the blood. Having never done it before, no concept, just thought, let me just have a look. So that's just taking the ASEA, putting it together, going to the microscope. This is the office where all the magic happens. And so it was spectacular, and you'll see the results in a second. And I'm sure you'll both be pleasantly surprised to see it. And the cell communication is so fast. And of course, you're going to have a little bit more. I took a drop or two and put it under the slide. So it's bathed in a little bit more ASEA than, average, but it still highlights the effect. I'm not like pouring a bucket or anything all over, but you can see the blood cells, and notice in motion there. You can see how fast that moved. And just go back here just to highlight how amazing when you're looking at cellular communication. I'm sure when they're touching right here and everything is pulsating, it's just everyone who's watching the video, visualize that level of vibrancy in every, trillions of cells, and then everything's communicating properly through the bloodstream to all the tissues. That's where I think people, if they visualize this, the net effect is amazing. I mean, and you can see them, they're dancing, right? I just put high energy state of pulsing. And when I showed Susan this, she was like, oh my God, no wonder people, the vitality is so much better. Or people's intuition could be better. Their overall outlook in life can be better. I mean, you're looking at a cellular pulsating state that, and I look forward to doing a bit more in the future. This is, again, us doing everything objectively and subjectively without even connecting with many people and just saying, is this stuff for real or not? And that's pretty much just a quick little video and gives an idea. So hopefully our viewers can have that visual of like, this is what is going on inside my amazing body when I'm taking the product. And that's it. So let me just stop that. So yeah, I mean, I appreciate your feedback. I mean, you've seen a little bit of that before. I'm just, but this gives you an idea, David, on what you're feeling is what you can see.
Yeah, I mean, it's just validation. You said your dog Silver laps it up. The Silverman laps it up too. I like drinking it too. I don't like it with my tongue. You put it in your mouth, you hold it for 30 seconds before you swallow it. It works best that way. But my dog drinks it too. I mean, fact is, this is a massive breakthrough. This is not just a product. I mean, there are a lot of good products, there are a lot of good nutritionals. This is a whole new category of science. It's called Redox. There are books that have some pretty deep science in it. Redox Matters. There's a simple book, which is really what this is. It's a biohack, Life's Biohack by Ricardo Wilkins. You can get these books. And that's just the information, but the proof's in the pudding. It's having the experiences with it. And when you show the cells kind of dancing around in a high energy state, I always tell people, I mean, I'm 64. Is this the reason I don't take medications? I don't know, but my parents took medications at 64. My grandparents took medications at 64. So the reason I feel like I'm in my 30s and I play golf every day. I'm heading down to Florida for 7 months, going down there on Monday, and I play pretty much every day. Sometimes I'll play 2 or 3 rounds a day. I couldn't do that when I was in my 30s. And so when you show the cells dance around in a high energy state, that's the way I feel. And it does cross the blood-brain barrier. I'm very, very focused. I've been on it now for over 13 years. And, we say, do you want to live younger, longer? And, the only reason people wouldn't try it and give it and do it properly is because they don't believe. And the beautiful thing is you don't have to believe. You just have to say, well, where are my problems today? Right? Energy, sleep, mood, digestive, blood sugar, wheezing, whatever it is, and say, look, what do I have to lose to try this? Nothing. The money back guarantee and safe as water. But what do I have to gain if it's real? And with my dad 14 years ago, my dad had a pretty grave issue. And I thought to myself, if I don't investigate this now, because I was 50 at the time, and I just thought it sounded too good to be true. I didn't see any live cell microscopy images. I just had some testimonials from people and the safety studies and the proposed mechanism of action. Now they found it a lot more since 2010. But I thought, God, what if this is real and I dismiss it? I just go to Google and Google it and say, oh, yeah, some people say it's good. Maybe it's just salt water. You can't patent salt water. You can't have intellectual property on salt water. But I could have dismissed it. But I thought, what if it's real? And something happened to my father. And I find out in 2024 that this was real. And I lost my dad in 2011. How would I feel? So I looked ahead and said, I need to investigate this properly today. I need to know. And I just thank God that I did. But the images that you've got are just phenomenal.
Yeah, Susan loves the results tracker.
Yeah, the results tracker is nice and easy because you can just do a 1 to 10 how you feel applying the Renew 28 and you can get instant results. And it's simple. And it's just like, okay, how am I feeling today? Track it. And then it's just a great tool. So I find they've thought of everything to make it easy for people.
Well, in addition to that, just Danielle and I, every Saturday, we do a Zoom where we go through proper usage, proper expectations, and then we do a live Q&A. So people can ask whatever they want. And so anybody that you're showing this to is certainly invited. Just ask you for the Zoom number, and they can be a fly on the wall and just listen and watch. They can click and ask any questions that they want. But it's also a way so that once someone has an experience, they're so excited and they want to share with people they love. And a lot of the people they love will just go to Google and say, "Nah, I don't believe it," And then they feel like they're in the convincing game. They're like, no, you don't know. You don't understand. I used to take these pills because I was so sad all the time. I don't take it anymore. Or I don't have that ringing in my ear anymore. And they're like, yeah, well, that's because maybe it worked for you. And they think it's a placebo or a coincidence. And so we have these Zooms in place called Ask the Doctor so that people can come and they don't have to feel like they're convincing their friends. All they have to do is get them to the Zoom. And we're not there to sell anything. We're there just to explain the safety of it, to remove objections for that because it's as safe as water, how to use it properly, and what are the proper expectations. Because some people have dramatic results in the first few days with this, but a lot don't. It takes up, we'd say, go 90 days and take it properly. And Danielle, you can add to that because at the end of that, you share how people can actually get their product for free. Insurance doesn't pay for it, but there is a built-in mechanism where nice people can get their product really paid for by the company.
Yeah, I hope that people come and we can kind of dive deeper into that. And I'm happy to. And I want to go back to what Bruce was asking with just the visual that you just showed, because as I'm watching it, I'm smiling because that's how I feel. Like watching those blood cells move around like that, like that's how I literally feel in my being. Yeah. It's like when you have the redox, there's just a level of vibrancy. And people ask me all the time, like, why have you stayed on this for so long? Like, clearly, you don't have the head issues anymore. Like, why do you stay on it? And it's because I feel that way. And I know that, I'm looking at your blood, Susan, from like day one and like clumped up and whatever. I'm like, I think that's how people start to feel as they get older. And they just accept, oh, there's aches and there's pains and that's just how it is. And, oh, it's just, part of aging. And it's like, I think that we can change that paradigm. I actually believe that no, you can restore this signal and it seems to just bring everything back to life. You literally just saw it with your blood in 4 days. It's like, and that's why I've stayed on it. So I have no idea, the things that it's been able to stop before I noticed it at the system level, right? Because I mean, you've been talking about skin, you've been talking about blood, but this is every cell in the body. So I have no idea what's been able to be proactively identified and dealt with in my gut, in my liver. Like I just have no idea. But that's why I stay on it. We're inundated with so many toxins and things that it's just like, look, if I can keep my body strong, if I can keep it flushing out toxins, that's what I want. And that's what I know the Redox does. So it's huge. I love that visual. It's you'll feel that way when you start drinking it. And yeah, we love to educate people also. If you like, once you realize that this is real, there is, at least it's what happened with me, right? I can speak for myself, a sense of responsibility to let other people know that there's an option like this out there. And so that's what David was talking about. What we do on Saturdays is just get educated, understand what you're saying yes or no to, give it a go. If you want to share it with other people, we can help you do that and educate. And it's a nice referral system that the company has sort of like naturally built in. And it's really rewarding. We get paid in goosebumps to watch what this does for people. It's fun.
That's awesome. Yeah, and we'll make sure that our clients and listeners will get the information and so they can go on Saturday or whenever they choose to and have some more information, non-committal, and just kind of listen to experts discuss it like we did today. I think we've covered most of the things. Is there anything, Susan, you want to cover anything else? I mean, we're grateful to both of you being on the call and giving us your illuminated visionary aspect of the product and how, the way you see it and the way you're seeing it help humanity as well, which is always rewarding. I think that's it. Good people helping good people and with a good product and a great product, to be honest. And then
I would just add, Susan and I were talking about this the other day, just one of the protocols, if you will, that we've seen like work really well. The company put together this essentials bundle and it gets you drinking 6 ounces, which I guess for you guys in Canada, what's what, 180 mLs? Mm-hmm. Drinking that much, it's like 3 of these cups a day. And that seems to be the sweet spot. Like, I love that they called it the essentials bundle because it is. It's like the essentials for what your body needs. And they give you a tube of that gel that you were talking about for free with that. And they also do free shipping. And so it's just like, purchasing this every month for 10 years. They came out with that essentials bundle just a few months back. And I'm like, my jaw dropped. I went, wow, this is the best value I've ever seen. Like you save 30%. And it's available to everybody, comes right to you. I called everyone I've ever shared a ASEA with, and I said, you need to switch over. Like, this is the best deal. So I just want to make that suggestion to everybody. How do I get started? Where would I start? I think that's like the best starting point. David, I think you probably agree with that.
Yeah. And in addition to that, when you're on subscription, well, first of all, you want to order it through an associate, an authorized associate. There's counterfeit product, expired product, all kinds of things online. But when you order it as through an associate as a customer, or you become an associate yourself, you get the wholesale price. But when you're on subscription, they are giving you a percentage back in free product every time your subscription processes, and there's no contract. I mean, you can cancel. It's called click to cancel. You can click cancel anytime you want, but the longer you're on it, the larger the percentage grows. And I'm saying this because insurance doesn't pay for it. But you can get up to 30% back off of the amount that was 30% off, and you're getting that in free product. And the company has a lot of products. All the products are focused on the human cell. Some of them are really focused on anti-aging for people who look younger, and some of them are focused on just every cellular health in the whole body. But it's a wonderful product for everybody in the world, but it's also a way for people to make a difference. I loved what I did as a doctor. I helped people. I got into medicine because the human body fascinates me. Just the whole everything about it. Like, all this stuff is going on while we're living our lives, our physiology and everything. Like, when you cut yourself, how does that heal? I mean, it's pretty amazing, the whole body, what it's doing. And I wanted to help people, and I wanted to have a good life. I mean, a good life, not to be selfish, but a life of no financial stress and some abundance. I never dreamed I would find something that would magnify what I was doing as a doctor a millionfold, because you create a ripple effect. Here, if you make 10 people aware of this breakthrough that their doctor isn't going to tell them about now until it becomes mainstream, you tell 10 people about it, they're so thankful. And then you teach them to do what you did. They each tell 10 people. Well, that's 100 more people who you impacted indirectly, because the 100 wouldn't have known about it without the 10. And what if those 100 each told 10 people? That's 1,000. That's what I've been doing for several years. And this ripple has just spread around the globe to 35 countries, 36 countries starting next week. And not everybody wants to get involved with the opportunity side of it, but it's an opportunity of giving and sharing. I have some people in my business that don't just have millions of dollars or tens of millions, but hundreds of millions from other businesses, and their associates sharing this. They made their money, have car dealerships or insurance businesses, but they never really were able to help a child, on the spectrum, or help people so dramatically, or go out and 10 of their friends put this on, and 10 of them are hurting. And in 10 minutes, 9 of them say, all right, where do I get this? This is amazing. It's a thrill for people to be able to help people. So that was a big closing statement, but that's how I feel.
That's true. I mean, that's a good way to wrap it up. It is a thrill for people to help people. I mean, that's ultimately what we're all in healthcare for, right? I mean, so it's always great to find an amazing product like this, that we're continually seeing great results, and we look forward with our clients testing it out even further and expanding the reach, for everyone to experience something like this.
Yep. Awesome. Well, thanks for having us on.
Yeah, we're grateful to
Thank
have
you
you
so
both. And yeah. So yeah, thank you very much. And we'll look forward to doing something another time, as in we'll see even more results, and we'll get together. And our listeners, thank you for both attending. We appreciate it.